Oh, it's cool times. Gang, gang to my cats, sup to all my ducks. I want to teach you guys today how you can make $2,000 a day flipping NFTs because honestly, a 9 to 5 job, it's too strenuous. And I want to teach you guys how to become full-time DGen. So we're going to look today at my American Sniper Bradley Cooper strategy. I'm going to teach you guys how to do the same. So specifically, I want to look at this Smilesverse project. It's at a 0.78 floor. As you can see, 2 days ago, I bought one for 0.25. How did I time that so perfectly? I want to teach you guys how you could time things perfectly without grinding for whitelist, without minting, without getting rugged by projects, having full conviction in a project. So I want to take you back to my Discord here where I'm linking it below, join free alpha. But I said before I bought that for 0.25 in my Discord, I mentioned this is probably the time to triple down on Smilesverse. I even brought up the idea below here of sweeping the Smiles floor. I should have done that, but this is why I had so much conviction for these two reasons. Even though I had made a video about Smilesverse like 2 months ago, even though I could have grinded for the whitelist, even though I could have mint, I waited all this time for conviction and I made my move at the right time. And because I bought it at 0.25 and now it's at like 0.8, it doesn't really matter that I didn't mint or get on the whitelist. Only it matters that I've made this much money. So I want to show you guys how I got to this point. So the big thing you want to look for at these projects being super undervalued is just the activity. How quickly are these things moving? So I had just seen 2 days ago in Smilesverse that the activity, I think this was like right where I bought, like 11, 15, like right at this moment, like here. And so I could just see this going up. And every minute, it's starting to slow up here, but every minute there were more sales. So you could see the floor was lava. You could see there was a lot of volume and activity. So it was a perfect time to jump in. So you want to look at activity. That's number one. When is there a lot of activity? That's when you're going to want to jump in. Number two is the positive sentiment on Twitter. This is how you're going to figure out when to jump into a project, how to time it. So the positive sentiment on Twitter became too much for me. I saw people like Casey Neistat, who is a huge, huge YouTuber, aping into Smilesverse. And I know what you're saying. We can't just rely on influencers. But the thing is, there were tons of whale buys he was making. He was getting above floor smiles, high conviction plays. You could see, 1.5, 1.5, 2.5, big sales being made, going to an influencer. And that can only help when it's somebody like FaZe Banks, KC, Logan Paul. I hate to say it, but it really does help the market. So I bought in at 2.5 when I saw this Casey tweet, when I saw bunches of people on Twitter shilling Smilesverse. It felt like the community was starting to diamond hand. We had got the paper hands out of the mint. That's why I don't even mint, because there's a lot of paper hands in minting. Let's get to the diamond hands and then let's moon up. So I didn't mint. I didn't grind for a whitelist. I didn't spend days doing a bunch of crossword puzzles or anything like that. I just timed it perfectly with the positive sentiment on Twitter, people getting above floor sales, and then also just the activity page. And you could see in my Discord, I was thinking about sweeping the whole floor and I'd be up tens of thousands of dollars right now. But I even said it, this again, at 0.25, it's at point, it even reached like 1 ETH last night. I said 2 days ago, there's so much positive sentiment about on Twitter, price hasn't caught up. You have to compare and contrast projects as well. When I looked at Smilesverse and I looked at an artist like Wahid, he had a 0.25 floor basically to invest in him as an artist. When I looked at Creature World, which is an artist, a singular artist project as well, it's got a 2.3 ETH floor, and basically it's Danny Cole. You're investing in the artist Danny Cole. I didn't think that there was that much of a gap between somebody like Wahid, who's done album covers for Pooh Shiesty, has done artwork for Young Thug and Playboy Cardi. Between him and Danny Cole, it seemed like there was too much of a gap between those two, so I pounced on that. So you have to look at the positive sentiment on Twitter post-mint, because that's when the community diamond hands. Look at the doodles right now. There's a lot of diamond hands coming together. They're consolidating. You're seeing less listings on OpenSea. So that's when I like to get in. Right after mint at about 0.2, I did the same thing with Subducks. We went straight to the moon. You get it in about 0.2, 0.25, right when the positive sentiment starts flowing on Twitter. You start to see above floor sales going to influencers. And then you also just look at the activity, because that will be able to tell you that you can relist this and flip it. So basically, that's the blueprint. That's how you can make $2,000 a day flipping NFTs. This market is really great right now. So you should either be doing one of two things. You should be getting rid of the bags that you bought during the bear market right now because everything is flying, or you should be getting into projects like these where they're going to make you $2,000 in a day so you don't have to work your freaking 9-to-5 job. One project I think has potential for this today, what I mentioned in my Discord, was Peaceful Groupies. It's at a 0.5 floor price right now, and you have Dead Fellas at a 1 ETH floor price. And when you think about both those communities, this is like what I was talking about with Creature World and Smiles. There really shouldn't be that much of a gap between those projects. So Peaceful Groupies hasn't made a big run yet. It's at 0.5 floor right now. So watch for that to catch fire here soon, because realistically, that and Dead Fellas shouldn't have that much of a gap. But that's it, guys. You look for the positive sentiment, you look for the activity on OpenSea, and you make conviction plays. I didn't try to grind for the whitelist. I didn't try to mint this. I waited and waited and waited for my conviction, my personal conviction. The times you FOMO buy, the times you rush into things, that's usually when you end up making a bad decision. I sat, I waited, I looked at all the options. I did tons and tons of research. And because of that, I was able to make around $2,000 in ETH just flipping NFTs. Hopefully you guys can do the same thing. And if you have any questions, I respond to every single comment below. Also join the Discord, because as you can see, I'm just dropping free alpha. Like 2 days ago, if you would have followed me, you would have been up $2,000 as well. So I want to keep making videos like this. Now that I've paid off my medical expenses, I want to do a lot more sniping videos. So subscribe to the channel. It's super grassroots. I love you guys so much for supporting. Like the video, turn post notifications on, but really just remember, gang, gang.